Hey, thanks for stopping by DowKnowHow.com. This is Rob Greaves, and it is Thursday, September 6th, and we're going to take a look at the markets here today, and then also quick look at the VIX and a couple of stocks that we've been following, and one that I just kind of picked up today and looked at. And then I got a couple more that I'm going to put into the members section, actually quite a few more. So maybe, I don't know, I've still got to render that list out. I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 11 so far, and I've got to pull some more out, and then I got to fine tune those, and I'll put in what I end up with. So anyway, so there's that, and then so if you get a chance, take a look in the members section, take a look at those and see what you think, and see if there's anything that strikes your fancy. But for right now, let's take a look at the markets today and see what happened. With the Dow, we have hit resistance up here, so I don't expect it to go much higher than this. If it does, it's broken into a new level, and we'll see where it goes. But I think this is probably going to be very weak tomorrow, maybe another day like this little guy here before it starts to list and roll over, because I just don't think we have the pressure. Although this is upward trending, you still have the momentum heading downwards. You do have the moving averages starting to line up, but I just don't think it's going to maintain it. We just don't have the steam in the market, and we are downward trending. So it would be a surprise if this thing broke resistance and shot up above that. Although it could. Beginning of this week, we broke down through the lowest level of support that we had, but it did. It opened here and dropped clear down to 10.4. And made its way back up and went positive, climbed its way back through, tried 2 days real hard to break support, but got through it, tested that pretty good. It's on the move back up again, but I just don't think it has a lot of steam up here. So, and the VIX kind of shows that also, that we're pretty high on that. So then I'll show you a shot of that here in a second. So NASDAQ, same story, downward trending, and has hit resistance up here, and then also tried to break through the support down here and didn't do it. So it seems like we have a fairly good level of support right now, but nothing to write home to mom about. So Standard & Poor's really broke that level of support, barely made it back up through it on both days, and now trended back up. So was really quite nervous when I saw this, but here we are again, up to resistance, and same story. A little bit upward trending, 10 days starting to move around, but I just don't think we have the momentum to get through it. We got downward sloping momentum down here, so we're looking at a little bit of a rough go there to break through that upper level of resistance, and I just don't think it's going to do it. So that said, you have this downward trend on all three of them, and let's move in and take a look at the VIX here. The VIX is just playing laterally sideways here, and it's not really breaking through the top, and it's really not breaking and staying through the bottom. So just seems to be happy in this area, and that is 36.27. That is a super high for the VIX. Really like to see it break this level down here of support. I don't know, let's see, where is support? It is sitting right about there, I guess, the lowest. That was resistance, you know, right about where the bottom of that box is, somewhere in there, 32. Like to see it break through 32. Someday head back down and be down here around the 16 range, but might get it, might not get it. Just depends on what happens out there with the European deal and all the muckslinging going on with presidential candidates and the economy and so forth. I just don't think we're going to see that very soon. So anyway, it is what it is. So here's the one that I wanted to talk to you about. This QTM was up here at $3.40 at not so long ago, latter part of July, and fell into August, and it looks like it's really gonna. It looks like it's really trying to do something at this point. We have 3 up days, so it looks pretty hopeful. Take a closer look at this, and if you look at where this was, it's just below 34 up here for resistance up here. Support, it looks like it is pretty evenly right about there. So It looks like it's pretty much hit, and this week too dipped down a little bit through its support and started the turnaround. So here we are, 3 days positive, and its downward angle of resistance here, it seems to have broke through. So that, to me, it doesn't really look to me like this stock is ready to break open, but we did have 2.3 million shares traded today, and it did break that level of support. And if you take a look at this, you can kind of gauge where it came from to where it might end up. And if we look at right about the end of that string right there, let me grab my little pointer. Oddly enough, okay, there we go. So oddly enough, you know, you have a range from your angle of resistance here and your angle of support. So you got 1, 2, 3, about 3 strikes on the support here, and if you take this and you move it up here, oddly enough, you're sitting right about where the previous level of resistance was. So it is possible for this thing now to start up trending and work its way back up to this level up here. And the fact, and generally you'd see this thing like come, and it could still taper down and then continue this trend till it gets down to you know, to a more pinched angle down here. But you know, right now you're sitting at $2 and $1.70. You know, it's not that far away. I'm going to probably pick this one up and just put about a, you know, $1.80, $1.85 stop loss on this, because I think this one's actually gonna take off. So anyway, that one is intriguing me, and we'll take a look at it. I didn't run the Bollinger Bands on this one, but and Keltner channels, but you know, we can probably do that here real quick. Let's see what they shape up to look like here. Let's see if I can get rid of this guy. Here we go. Let me just see what's happening when we look at those. And I'm just going to get rid of that moving average. So here we go. And so see, we're coming into a squeeze here also. It's a wide one, but it is really tapered down here and starting to squeeze. So that is looking potentially like it could continue to narrow and take off. So I'm going to say that that might be one that I'm going to jump in on. Up here you had this squeeze, but when you're overbought like it was up here, then you got to expect that the squeeze is going to probably break to the downside, which is what it did. And boom, it did, and it went down. So now, you know, you tanked all the way down to here, and now it's trying to work its way back up again. So hopefully this squeeze right here, along with the rest of the signs that we're seeing, are going to result in some positive upward movement in this thing. And this exchange 2.3 million shares today, had a 5.7% gain. So that's looking pretty hopeful to me. Okay, so HPGS, it's an anomaly. It is still trying to go positive. If we take this one, you know, there's the volume here. This is kind of, it was a 9% gain today, but the volume here is kind of kicking my butt because there's been so much shorted with this thing I don't understand why they're not covering the shorts that they've done. So they're cheating to a certain degree. They've shorted this, and who knows what flavor of short they've done, but it's been beyond the 3 days, and there's no further shorting happening on this stock. There's not a lot of buying activity happening on this stock, and there's no covering activity happening on this stock, but it's continuing to rise. So interestingly enough, I'm not sure whether the numbers just don't work out for the shorting to have worked its way through either. So that's confusing me a little bit. But anyway, whatever it is, who knows? There's a couple different patterns here. You can look at this pattern as a nice little flag pattern here, and then we had the breakout above that. So what do we wait for? We wait for the flag pattern to form, and then we wait for this to break out above the flag, which it just did. So can it maintain it? I don't know. Well, let's find out. We'll see. We'll have to just see if this continues to trend up tomorrow, and if it does, then we're looking pretty good. And I think you'll see the volume on this pick up and take off, and try to pull its way back up. I just really think this stock is gonna try to rewrite itself, just because they've closed their oil fields down and they've reopened them, or their gas fields. They bought them at such a reduced rate and got themselves into active wells that they've opened up for very, very little money, and I just don't see this company doing anything but turning around and going back up after some shakeup that they had. So it's looking pretty good to me. You can see the formation here of the flag, and you see a bit of a squeeze on the Keltner channels here as well, and it looks like the Bollinger Bands are moving in for a tightening up here as well. So I am staying cautiously optimistic with this one, because I think it's going to take off and go somewhere and do something decent. Silver, again, same thing. I think this thing's going to end up in about the $35 range. Call me a fool, call me whatever you want, but you got this squeeze going on down here, and you had this breakout above, and you hit the 31.20, and I think this is going to pop back up to probably about this 35 range, and see if we can break past this 35 range. We still have to cover these gaps, and there's another gap here we got to cover, so I think this is going to come back, and we're oversold right now, and it's starting to uptrend. So I know that that's a little bit out of our price range, but I always carry the silver just to hedge the poor market performance, and as a safety shield, I feel a little comfortable carrying a little bit of the precious metal stuff. So anyway, I know it doesn't do much for those of you that are going to write me and give me the pros and cons of silver, but it's just the way I do it. It kind of offsets stuff. And if you watch my earlier videos, I explained all that earlier. But anyway, so there it is. That's what we have right now, and we are going to keep an eye on QTM and watch that HPGS and also the silver. So I'm going to put some more stuff over in the member section. If you are in the member section, or you have access to the other member section, go ahead and take a look at that. Got some more stuff over there that I'm going to put over there, similar to QTM. So some more stuff for you to pick from, and if you got any yourself, throw them over there for us, and or shoot me an email at dowknowhow@gmail.com, and I'll take a look at it, and we'll see if what you got some good stuff. An awful lot of stocks out there. I can't watch them all, so throw me a bone, and I'll take a look at it, and we'll see if it looks like it's going to be a go or no go, and we'll go from there. So we'll talk to you soon, guys. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Bye bye.